Today we're going to be doing another French drain system. This one's going to involve tying in downspouts as well as sump pumps. So let's get started. Off the bat, we're going to start with a catch basin system. As you can see, this area is a lot higher. It's a lot of water's sitting in this AC unit area. And so we're going to run a catch basin that sits in the low spot to capture that water with a solid pipe that runs right into a sump pump basin. That sump pump basin is going to have a sump pump with a 2-inch line that's going to run around the house and tie into where we're putting our French drain. Putting a French drain here because this back area is a lot higher, causing all the water to sit right in this area. As you can see, there's a nice little swell here, and what that's doing is killing off all the grass as well as making it muddy, so you can't enjoy your back lawn at all. And then with the heavy rainstorms, it's even getting towards the foundation, which you don't want. So we're running a French drain along this whole area. We're going to tie in all these downspouts so that water gets away from the foundation, enters the system. And we're going to run it all over to a sump pump over here. Sump pump's going here because this is the lowest point of the yard. And it will be able to collect all the water from this neighboring lot. As you can see here, the neighboring lot is just a little higher, and it's the same situation as the other area where it's just a nice little swell here where the water's pooling and keeping this area soaking wet. And on heavy rainstorms, it's even getting to that foundation. So we're gonna run a French drain from this point into this sump pump, into this low area with a grate on top. And then this sump pump is gonna pump all the water just straight to the street. Now you might be able to get away with doing a slope gravity drain on this with the slope, but unfortunately you would have to slope it to this area, which is just gonna keep this whole side lawn wet, as well as if they ever build on this lot, it's gonna raise this area up significantly, and that gravity drain just won't work, and there's not enough slope to get it to the street. So unfortunately, the only thing you can do is use a sump pump for this system, but that sump pump is just gonna drive water out at about 60 gallons per minute, and so you won't have to worry about water sitting in your yard ever again. So now that we have the trench dug, we're gonna be laying the pipe. Now we're gonna be putting a sock over this, but you want basically about 2 inches of gravel beneath it. You want the holes facing down. A lot of people make the mistake of putting them up, but the water is gonna fall down into the gravel and raise up and then flow down the pipe. So you do not want the holes facing up. Otherwise the water will have to come all the way up to this level and then drain into the pipe. And at that point, the system will be pretty useless. So you wanna keep those holes facing down, a sock around it, and once the sock's around it, you fill either side and the top with gravel, just the same as the bottom, and then 2 inches of soil and then sod on top. You can see here we're running a sleeve over it. This sleeve's going to protect any debris from getting inside and clogging up this pipe. You can see, and we'll run the pipe holes down like I said. Now you can put fabric that surrounds the entire trench. We opt for the sleeve. It makes a little quicker work, cleaner work, and it allows roots to grow throughout the gravel, the grass roots. Okay. The fabric can prevent grass roots from growing and can cause bare areas, which you don't want. All right, so this portion is just about done with gravel. You can see we leave about 1 inch or 2 of soil space. So we put soil and then sod on top. Now, like I said before, we use that sock so that the gravel is open here and allows grass roots to go inside, but it won't penetrate the pipe or disturb the French drain acting. If you put fabric, that fabric's gonna lay across here and grass roots will not be able to penetrate, which will lead bare spots, which you don't want. You can see, ran the pipe, we're gonna be tying in that downspout right here. We keep the catch basins covered, and at the very end, we'll cut around it, but this prevents any stuff getting inside of the catch basins while we're filling it back in. We're gonna fill it all the way back in and run around there. So now we'll go over how to get your pump properly installed. We're using a Zoller commercial grade pump. It's gonna be doing about 60 gallons per minute, which is plenty for the area we're going to be pumping out of. You can size your own pump on the Zoller website. We really recommend Zoller. But then you're going to find the thread. This thread is 1 1/2. So you're going to hand tighten that just as tight as your hand can get it. You're not going to want to channel lock it or anything. And then you're going to want to measure out with your sump basin exactly what you want. So you're going to want first a 3/16 hole in the bottom piece, and we'll glue this all together. But right now we're just going to show you how to do it. And then you're going to get a check valve to make sure water doesn't go in this. This is going to make sure there's no airlock. And you'll put the check valve on there. And you'll want to put another piece after the check valve. Make sure the arrow's pointed up on that check valve with a 90 out of the side of the basin. The basin top will be here so that they can unscrew it, take it, and service if they need to. And then this will go out of the side, and we'll go over there and check out how it looks installed. All right, so once you get your basin put in there with your pump in there, now remember to put holes in your basin so this doesn't float up. You're gonna put holes in here and surround it entirely with gravel. That way, if the water table rises, water can get into here and it doesn't cause the whole basin to float up top. And this is very important. You wanna make sure you have one of these connecting, so if you ever need to replace the pump or service the pump and replace one of these pipes, you can easily unattach this and take the whole pump out without having to cut any lines and having to do any repairs.
I still adjust.
For this final section, we had to tie in this downspout and this downspout. This front corner was pulling with a lot of water, causing some water damage on that foundation. So we had to come and bring it under this sidewalk here. Now how you do that if you don't have a bowl like this is you dig a big hole, you just stick the trench and shovel in there, and you have to poke through and dig, and eventually you'll be able to get right under there. Here, I'll show you how he's doing it here. And it takes some time and patience, but after a little while you'll get it, and we're just gonna run that downspout with a little pop-up right there and let it drain into the yard. Being a landscaping company as well as drainage, we're just taking care of these bushes, make them look nice. We're gonna mulch everywhere in here, get some shrubs installed, and it'll finish this job up nicely. So we're all finished up on this drain. You see the pump with the switch. It's underground so you can't see it, covered in mulch, so it's easy access. That catch basin captures all the water around that AC unit, drains it into the pump. This pump is gonna pump it all the way up there. We have the downspout tied in as well. Added some beautiful podocarpus and palm trees to beautify the space up. That pump runs into this French drain. You can see we resodded it. Looks better than before. You wouldn't even know a bunch of drain work was done back here. Remulched it. We have this downspout tied in. Have the catch basins open. Another catch base or another downspout tied in. Another downspout tied in, and it all runs into this pump right here. It's underground, so it's out of sight. Have the switch over there, and that runs a 2-inch line out to the street. And we just use a little pop-up so that it's not gushing water. You just use a 4-inch extension for a pop-up, 2 to 4 inch. That drains the water nicely off here. No longer have a wet backyard.